This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports.
Shooting where, Ken?
Dead End Studios.
That's right. Fresh from out of town, man. I drove back from out of town to be up in this bitch.
It's a special occasion, man.
Yeah,
this
right.
is day one, the very first day that the lease went into effect, and we're spending that day.
You damn right. You damn right.
You got to.
Look, man, we've been working for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? 8 years. This is, earlier today, me and Rob, we was having a conversation. Obviously, this is not sports related, so y'all just bear with us. But we were having a conversation where I was saying it's so crazy that every milestone we get feels like it's a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like back when we had 50 subscribers to then when we hit like 100K, now we're at 200K, getting shouted out by Kendrick, and then now we finally have our own space. And I feel like this is a really big moment in our time, in our history, mainly because now you can't tell me nothing.
Yep.
You like now I feel we are equal players. If you are in the podcasting realm, guess what? We gonna catch you and pass you. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You on YouTube? Mm-hmm. Oh, we plateau? Oh, that's fine. We gonna catch you and pass you because now we have no excuse to not be creative.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like for the past couple years, I feel that we've been giving our fans and our listeners the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? And y'all like it. People go to McDonald's for how many years? People go to certain restaurants for how many years? Because you like it.
Good analogy.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
But now, we done goddamn revamped the menu.
Yep.
And if you loved us before, you definitely going to love us now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So just being here, making the moves with Rod, trying to get some of the furniture, being able to get to a position where we can record today on the first day, you know what I'm saying? All of those realizations just hit me, and I'm like, man, like this is what hard work looks like, man. We never gave up. It didn't matter if people stole our stuff. We knew what the end goal was. And it's so crazy. Again, 8 years in, and this feels like the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's part of the process, man. Everything is part of the process, and I think now it's exciting because, like you said, it's like to be able to just come and go whenever you please, to just put in work and do work. I think it's going to lead to some exciting times for us, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And, we've been talking about like recording in person, for a while now, and now we can actually do that.
Yep.
And, it's not too far from where we stay at, so it's not an inconvenience or anything like that. So, so it's going to be dope, man. So, so kicking off Dead End Studios with Dead End Sports. And looking forward to just building. So we're gonna get into the show.
Easier to get guests on too. Like if someone,
I know,
hey,
right?
Come to this, Kyle. What you doing? Come to the studio. We about to chop it up. Anybody else?
We got a mic for you.
Yeah, we got a mic for you. You want to come in? Anybody that's in the Atlanta area? I talk with y'all all the time on Twitter. Come to the Dead End Hip Hop Studios now.
Yeah, and then I can, I'm gonna work on a setup to be able to, patch people in through guests. I can put a mic up to a speaker, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we can put them up on video and shit like that. We're gonna start doing video now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna simulcast, what we're doing here. Like maybe put something right there in the corner, to capture it, an iPad or whatever, and then just take that video, upload it, and they can catch like the whole thing. We can do videos in the set back there, like more. Topics that are suited for that sort of thing. So
yeah, buddy.
All right, so before we get into the show, check out Is the Mic Still On podcast. If you're listening to this, by now the Kanye Trump episode is up on there. Subscribe to that, share it.
I can't wait to listen to that one.
Yeah, it's good, man. It was a good conversation. Of course, check out the Family Man 12 Cow podcast. Chris Platty's Strictly B-Ball podcast. He hit me up, said he got a hot one coming out this week. So I told him to text me. So if you follow me on Twitter or whatever, be on the lookout for that. But I mean, just
Chris, I ain't forget about you, man. I ain't forget about you. I don't be on Twitter like that, but we got to link up. I just want to put it out there. We've been talking. We got to link up. We got to link up before the season's over.
Yeah. And who else? Manny, the Technical File podcast. Been talking to him about, doing more stuff with him. And, of course, man, the one that set it all off, man, Dead End Hip Hop. Definitely go to subscribe to Dead End Hip Hop on YouTube. And that's it, man. And we got some more stuff coming, too. So, nasty.
We're watching the game live as we're recording this, so it's crazy.
Okay.
Game 1 of Cleveland and Toronto.
So he's had a bad night at the free throw line, man. Like, how do you go from 25 to 25? And then last I heard, like in halftime, he was like 1 for 5, and now he's missing another one. So
he tired, man. He needed rest.
Man, come on, man. He's not using that excuse.
He's not. I'm talking.
He's just out of I know. He's just out of sync, man. But while we're on this game, what I like about this game from what I've seen so far is that they're really pushing the tempo. So whenever they get the rebound, they get the ball, they're giving it to Jeff Green. Jeff Green's being really aggressive. But they got a problem with that one right there.
Yeah, Valanciunas, man. Look, and when we were talking about earlier Philly's path, Cleveland's path, and if they were to collide at some point in time in these playoffs, they're gonna have a big problem. If they are having issues trying to get Valanciunas off the board, man, it's
MD, man,
it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem because look, man, Cleveland has some glaring weaknesses. Number one, rebounding and size. Number two is defensive rotations, being athletically defensively. Even though they gotten younger through the trade, I still don't understand why these guys can't get the stops that they need when they need it.
It makes no sense.
Because championship teams could be like, I was talking to my boy the other day when we was watching one of the games. And you know how they always have the coach mic'd up and everything, right?
Yep.
And Brad Stevens was like, stop, score, stop. You know what I'm saying? And I always talk about how a 20-point lead is not a lot because if you get 3 stops and 3 scores,
you back in the game.
You back in the game. You're talking about maybe 12 or less down.
Yeah.
That other team's going to call a timeout.
Right.
If you could get one more stop, one more score, we're talking almost single digits at this point, right? But Cleveland cannot get that stop, score, stop. They just when they need it, like you're down 8, you're down 12, close game. You've been clawing your way to stay right in striking distance, and when you need it most, they can't get it. And the thing is, I think at this point, 15 years in, it's too unfair to ask LeBron to shut down the best perimeter threat, even in the fourth quarter.
Right.
At this point in his career. Now, can he do it here and there? Of course. When you want to be mentioned as the greatest all time, you got to do those type things. But who else in their 15 years was doing that?
And this is another reason why I said before in the beginning of the playoffs, Bron is going to be burnt out. If he claw his way to the NBA Finals, the man just said he was burnt out after Game 7 with the Pacers. He said, "Man, I just feel burnt. I ain't want to talk about Toronto. I'm burnt." And I was thinking, like, man, I told him. I said, man, LeBron gonna be burnt.
But he played every minute. He done played all 82 games. You can't do that,
man.
15 years?
You can't do that this series and then possibly the Eastern Conference Finals and then expect to do you're gonna be burnt out, man.
And I think that was a legacy series for him, right? Having never lost in the first round of playoffs. So.
Not even being in a position. No. Forget a game 7 to be in an elimination game in the first series. He's never faced an elimination game.
And
that's bigger than a game 7.
Right.
Like we didn't even touch 6 barely. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. He knew it too because he said he was like, he already told coach he ain't coming out the game. Yep. He was prepared to play 48 minutes that game.
Yeah, like I think not that he will be cool with it, but I think losing to the best team in the league, the number 1 seed versus losing to the 5th seed, the Pacers, you can probably stomach that a little bit more because at this point. Like this year, I think their record, like their seeding is what they are.
Right.
They truly are 4th seed.
Yeah.
And that was the most noticeable thing. That's what I pulled out of that Pacers series. Because I'm like, man, they
look
really
like a
4th seed.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
not like they had a bad stretch. We
We
fell into the 4th seed.
Right.
Nah, you are the 4th seed.
And they couldn't do anything with Oladipo.
He was going to work.
Crazy.
He was going to work.
J.R. Smith overplayed him. He blow right by him. And he would just layup after layup after layup.
Yep, killing him.
And like
he
you
wasn't
said.
Scared. He wasn't scared.
No, he wasn't. But he had that first half. He had a bad first half, but he came on strong. He did what he needed to do in the second half. They had a lead. They just couldn't close and give Cleveland's bench credit for finally producing. Mm-hmm. And I think we're starting to see, at least early on, like Toronto's a really good team. They execute really, really well. Everybody's been integrated well into the system. They've had all these players. So they have they're a little bit more teamwork, camaraderie, or whatever. Chemistry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have that. Cavs still building that. But it's still like a 9-point lead now. Mm-hmm. But where I was going with that is that when you look at like the Pacers and shit, I forgot where I was going with it now.
Yeah,
no, what?
Damn word.
Damn,
I got stuck on that damn word. But nah, man, I think they'll give Toronto a run for their money, and there were moments in the first half where I looked and I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to beat them. And I still do. I got Cleveland.
You still got Cleveland in the series?
How many? 7? Look, if it took 7 for Indy with an emerging star, right? Because I'm still cautious to call Oladipo a star, right? Like, we know he's not going to be a superstar.
Why?
Because to me, you have to maintain consistency to be considered a star.
So you want to see him play at this level for about another 3 years?
Or I think if he plays at this level for at least one more year, I'll give him the star, right? Okay. But then at that point, it's kind of like you have to maintain that. But he's been in the league, 4 years already? This being his 5th.
Yeah.
You just now getting over 20 points a game?
Bad coaching, bad organization.
Because he was with Orlando.
Yeah, but Orlando wasn't that bad when – but they were rebuilding, and they had a young point guard at the time, Elfrid Payton, that you loved.
Did I?
Yeah, you loved Elfrid.
You like Elfrid. You like Elfrid.
Yeah, and I was like, Ken, he's nice, but he ain't all that. Okay. But either way, he was in a situation to be the guy, right? And I'm not expecting the rookie Oladipo to do that.
But he was there 3 or 4 years, right?
He was there 3 years. 4th year was in OKC, 5th year is in Indiana.
Right.
So again, I don't know. For me, I just need him to do this next year, and I'll be more comfortable calling him a star.
I think he'll do it next year.
I think so too.
I think what we truly saw an organization hold a player down. Yeah. Leaving Orlando was the best, and we also saw Billy Donovan holding him down too. Can you imagine if Billy Donovan used Oladipo and Sabonis the way that Nate McMillan did?
Okay, wait, hold on. Now that you say that, it brings up an interesting topic.
Uh-oh.
You already know I'm going to be. How do you feel about Carmelo's comments about not being utilized in the right way? And we know, I ain't got no sources, but I ain't giving up no damn $28 million because I ain't getting it nowhere else. Yeah. So I'm getting the $28 million from OKC.
He gonna stay.
Yeah. So he gonna be there.
He gonna opt in.
He gonna be there, Ken. What did Billy Donovan do this year that didn't mesh with Melo, and how does that look next year for Melo?
I'm glad he said what he said because
I know because you've been tough on Billy Donovan.
I've been tough on Billy Donovan, man, and his comments kind of illustrated some of the criticism that I've had. Even the Zach Lowe article where he talked about Westbrook can't be the sole focal point of the offense for OKC anymore. He spoke to how there's just no system in OKC at all. And when we know, is Melo really, really that bad? It looks like it.
I know he looked like it looked like he need to retire after this season, man.
But maybe it's the Russell Westbrook effect. Maybe it's the Billy Donovan effect. Maybe it is the Billy Donovan effect. And him saying that they had no strategy for me. Like, that's a shot across the bow at not only the organization, but at Billy Donovan. And he's letting us know that I'm not washed. They just didn't know how to use me.
Wow.
If you really think about it. And
you know he hear it. You know he got to be hearing that.
Of course. He's got to be. He's prideful. Now, we'll get into this next about the bench role. But yeah, and I think if Paul George leaves, Billy Donovan now needs
that's damn near guaranteed. Look.
Yeah, they got the first round.
Exactly.
If OKC would have got to the West Finals or maybe Finals, I can see him staying.
Yes.
I can see him staying.
But the first round, I did this in Indiana, bro.
Right.
With more shots.
You're right. And I'm up here with another superstar. Why am I stay for that?
Exactly.
He's probably going to leave, but Paul George, okay, so if he's leaving, he sabotaged game 6 then. He looked scared to shoot.
He had a bad game. It was just
happens.
It was just the wrong time. It was just the wrong.
Did y'all see him give up the ball in the fourth quarter? He was scared.
It wasn't his night. I don't think it was his night though.
Are we really? Come on, Ken. We gave playoff P praise, right, for past playoff performances. If he has an off time, even him giving up the ball, right, like him not necessarily wanting to shoot because maybe he knew he didn't have it. Like you can't hold that against him either because that's awareness.
Have it.
B. Look, we still hoop in a league.
Yeah.
When you ain't got it, hey Ralph, where you at? Where you at? And when I ain't got it, B, where you at?
Yeah, you just don't have it.
We're not gonna give him a pass, yo. We're not giving him
an apologist. We're not gonna be apologists.
Nah, we gotta hold him accountable. If he was on his way to being a superstar in this league until he broke his leg, and now he's back to at least what I thought was going to be a star level, and then that happened.
He's still an all-star. He's still playing at an all-star level. Ken, let's not. Come on, man.
Let's get back to him. But let's get back to Melo. But I like that he said that, man, because I think Billy Donovan, man, it's like
is he back next year?
Melo? Yeah, he's
no. Billy D.
Based off the comments that Melo said.
You had Kevin Durant and Westbrook, a 3-1 lead. You blew it. You get to the playoffs with Westbrook with that same terrible organization.
Terrible?
I mean, not organization, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
With that terrible roster that they had.
After Durant left.
Yeah, you had an Allen Iverson team. You go out in the offseason, you trade, well, I don't even know if we can say that because you did have Oladipo and Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
So and he didn't use them the way that Nate McMillan did, right? So coaching effect. So now you give him Melo and Paul George, and you equal or come close to the same amount of wins with better talent.
Yeah.
Sam Presti has to look and say, I don't know about this guy. You blow a 3-1 lead. We give you a pass for last year, and now we give you more talent, and you lose in the first round?
You think my man from that got fired from Memphis can probably coach there?
Fizdale?
Yeah.
Fizdale would get Westbrook in line.
Yeah.
So one of you guys said this about Larry Brown coming to
Indiana?
Yeah. Not Indiana or wherever he went when he kind of got Allen Iverson.
Philly. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said. Yeah,
you said Larry Brown. You know what? I thought Larry Bird. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but and you know, I think I've seen a lot of columnists and TV personalities and everybody talking about how Westbrook gets coddled, right? And
I've seen that nonsense too.
But I think there's a smidgen of truth there, because how many times have we seen anybody from that OKC organization call him out at any point?
But they coddled Kevin Durant too. We can say That's actually, now that you mentioned that, it's funny they're applying coddling to Westbrook, but they protect all of their stars. I have heard that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. And as an organization, right, I understand why, especially in the public eye, but I feel that with Westbrook's weaknesses as a basketball player, you have to, even if it's not publicly, but internally, you have to question him. You have to kind of put him in order. You have to rein him in. How long have I been using that phrase when it goes applying to Westbrook? Reining him in. You have to, as a head coach, sometimes, and I said I would love to coach Westbrook. I would love to have that type of player on my squad because I don't have to be like, hey, I need you to go do this. You know he's going to do that. Hey, wait, hey, hold on, bro. I need you to bring that back a little bit. I don't need you to be that aggressive right now. Right. I need you to make better decisions right now. KD ain't get a shot in the last 3 possessions, Russ. What are you doing? I need you to be the point guard, right? And I feel that a coach a la Mark Jackson can do that for a Westbrook because he did that for a Steph Curry. Steph Curry, to me, was not as a great a point guard, point guard. Scoring, shooting, that's natural. He worked on that. That's him.
Right.
But having the feel for the game, understanding time and possession, where you are, who's hot, who's not, where to get the people the ball, when to get on the ball, that's point guard duties. Westbrook still lacks in that area. Yep. And has he gotten better over time? Yes. So I don't want to be like, oh, he's still the same. No, you gotten better, but at your skill level, you should be way higher. Way higher, because at the end of the day, that is what's hurting you. That is the reason why Melo looks like how he looked. That's the reason why Paul George goes through lapses. That's the reason why Oladipo is balling now without you versus when he was on your squad. That's the reason why KD is happier now. He still balled with OKC. You look at the numbers, it's still relatively the same, but that just speaks to Kevin Durant's greatness. He's getting easier shots. He was taking way tougher shots in OKC. No system.
Yep.
And still getting his, still eating. But at the end of the day, let me digress back to Russ. Russ needs a head coach, and I think he needs the organization to not pacify, just for another word, to pacify his transgressions, to pacify his mistakes. Because when you are that good, when you are considered a superstar in this league, the first thing Lou told LeBron when he took over that job was, I have to hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. Because if I can't hold you accountable, how am I going to tell JR to do something? How am I going to tell Tristan to do something?
He's done that. He's called LeBron out.
He's called LeBron out multiple times. But game 5 or 6, I need LeBron, or game 2, I need LeBron to be more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And what did LeBron do? Came out and was more aggressive. Yep. Sometimes, regardless of the temperament of the superstar, you gotta kick their ass. Hey, the f is you doing right now?
Right.
This is what I need from you. This is my expectation level of you. And if you don't give me that next game, then we have problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think Russell needs that, because realistically, out of any character that you've seen on that squad since he's been drafted, who's going to get in Russell's face? Player, coach, front office, who?
Nobody.
That's the problem.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hold him accountable.
Damn. Man, I was just disappointed because that game was there for the taking. Russell played, man, that third quarter, that shootout between.
Ooh, man.
My man Donovan.
Hey, he the real deal. He ain't rookie of the year, but he the real deal. I give him that.
Should have been a Piston.
Man, y'all
should have been a Piston.
Y'all almost had him. So all right, so Melo's coming back.
George is going.
So we're saying George is gone.
Mm-hmm. Melo said he's not coming off the bench.
And Melo's not coming off the bench. All right, what you think about that, P?
Based off what and you could be right about the coaching thing, but based off what I saw, I think I said this to y'all plenty of times. Melo is a great 6 man at this point in his career. This is what he's showing. I I like Melo. I always been a Melo fan, man, but I just think at this point, he's a 6 man. It depends on what the lineup is, and if they don't get anybody,
that's my next question.
Yeah, I'm about to say if they don't get anybody, then yeah, at that point, if they don't find a good replacement for Paul George, I mean, yeah, you got to still start Melo.
Paul George is back, then Melo.
Paul George is back. And I just
okay.
Yeah, you still got to start. You still got to start him if.
Of course, yeah. and here's the thing, man. Look,
or you got to get different coaching.
That's where I was gonna go, because I have slightly been an apologist, but I like for coaches to at least get 1 year. Right. Mm-hmm. And I feel that by midway or 3/4 of the way of the second season, you should see the direction. They should start understanding, okay, this is how coach wants to do. You should start seeing that machine move forward. And we haven't seen that from Billy D. So I think it's time for a coaching change. I think that what Melo said resonated heavily with me, because we're talking about a guy that has been the high of the high and the low of the lows. Mm-hmm. Melo has seen a lot in his career. And for him we've never heard Melo be this provocative with a statement. Have we? I never have.
Not until Phil pissed him off. Then he started firing.
But that was different. That was different. I'm not even holding that against him, right? But in this situation, I think this is extremely damning for Billy Donovan, because there's no way that, first of all, that you have a Russell Westbrook and you don't try to create something around him, right? We're just Russell and defense. Then I get it. You know, KD bounced. You got Oladipo and the rest of them. And okay, I get it. You make it Russell Westbrook centric. Fine, I give you that. But this year, you got 2 future Hall of Famers, and one of them, the bona fide Hall of Famer, says that you didn't even know how to use me, dog. Oh man!
Hey yo, Billy, let me holler at you, dog. Yo, Billy, let me holler at you in the office right quick.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is not good for Billy Donovan. What does that say about his coaching style, what his technique is? How do you hold NBA players accountable? If one of the greatest, right, scorers of all time says, you ain't know how to use me, I believe Melo. I believe Melo has 15 years of getting the job done. From day one, just like Bron. Right? People don't talk about Melo in that regard. From day one, this man
Melo
came into the league
Denver and was lighting it up.
20-plus points a game, made the playoffs in the West.
Yep.
The West was still tough back then, too.
Yep. Go toe-to-toe with Kobe. We see him go
with everybody.
Yeah.
With everybody.
Yeah.
Come get this work. And you mean to tell me that for the first time in his career, he said, you ain't know how to use me? I believe Melo.
Yeah, I mean, I think what coming off the bench, I thought about Wade sacrificing and coming off the bench.
But that was different. Hold on. Let me pause you just a little bit. Okay. Mainly because, remember, he didn't want to go back to Miami, so he signed a free agent contract with Chicago. Right? Chicago bought him out. He went to Cleveland. Then Cleveland traded him back. As a head coach, there's no way that I'm going to start D-Wade, even though I know what you mean. Mm-hmm. Tyler Johnson earned this position.
Yeah.
He earned it, and he's playing really well. Not saying that he's better than D-Wade.
And D-Wade was good off the bench, though.
No, D-Wade was good, and he accepted it. Yeah. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, he did, and I understand the situation was different, but I think when you take it all and when you put it all together, you have no strategy for me, so your strategy is for me to come off the bench. How does that make sense? Why would I do that? Because if you can't use me in the starting role, how do I know you're going to be able to use me in the bench? I don't trust you as a coach to sacrifice my starting job in order to come off the bench to benefit you.
Because you know why? What did Steve Kerr do the first year he went in there? Hey, Iggy, I need you on the bench. I need Draymond to start. But the only way that you get buy-in from anybody, and this and I'm talking beyond sports. I'm talking from a professional level. You guys that are in corporate America, just like the majority of us, how do you get people to buy in? You gotta have a plan. Yep. Steve Kerr had a plan from the moment he got there. They gave him a little bit of time. The plan worked on the court. Oh, well, I ain't gonna question him about nothing. He want to start me, he want to bench me, he want to do that. I don't care. It's working.
It's working, right?
Because everybody out of the organization talking about. I think Paul George said it was some highs and there was some lows. Like everybody, and I think there was another one where somebody said it was interesting. Like,
it's falling on the coach.
Yeah, and you think about what Kevin Durant liked in that tweet. A lot of people thought it was at Westbrook, and it may have been, but they were also criticizing Billy Donovan too. In that tweet, or it was on Instagram or something. So yeah, I don't know if he'll be back, but I know that they lost a lot in making that moves. But it's not just Melo, it's just not Paul George. That whole roster just isn't good. The bench isn't good.
It's not,
and they was missing Roberson.
Roberson.
Yeah, they was missing him.
But they kind of replaced him with he was playing for the Lakers last. Tall, lanky guy.
Corey Brewer.
Yeah. So they kind of replaced him. And Corey Brewer is a better three-point shooter. So, not as good defensively, but better three-point shooter. It's kind of the same. I take it. It's the same thing. But you know what I think is interesting, too? Don't you remember fake Kevin Durant Twitter? What he said about Billy D?
The burner account, yeah.
Yep. And then now we hear this thing about Melo. You're talking about the roster.
Well, there's some smoke and some fire.
Yeah, there's definitely fire. I think this is going to be a very interesting offseason for OKC, mainly because I think they're going to lose playoff P. I think definitely Melo's going to opt in. But like you said, Ken, the rest of that roster behind Steven Adams is what? You know what I'm saying?
Grant, Albina's.
I like Jeremy Grant.
Why?
Because he's a utility player. Like, hey, go guard this guy. He's killing us right now. I need a solid 5-minute stretch.
But he out there jacking up threes, and Billy Donovan ran a screen for him.
He can shoot a little bit. Yeah, I mean
he's not a shooter.
Yeah,
but he can shoot.
But he can. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's not a shooter, but he can knock down some open shots.
I forgot where I read this, and this is I just couldn't believe it. They had Melo. I think they ran a screen for Melo. Melo got the ball, and they ran another screen just for Melo to get a ball back to Jeremy Grant. Like they used Melo to set a screen for Jeremy Grant.
Wow.
Jeremy, listen to the words I'm saying.
I hear you.
Like, when did he become a shooter? Like, why are you running plays for Jeremy? He's a utility guy.
And he's not even hot. Like, I see if he hit 3, 4, 5 shots. Okay, but hey,
keep
run everything to him until he missed 3.
Yep.
Right? But nah, come on, man. And you know the other thing that's interesting. Let's look at Doug McDermott. Right? Like, let's look at
Is he still there?
No, he's not in OKC.
Okay.
I forgot. What team is he on right now?
Chicago?
No, he's not. He's not back in Chicago. I can't think of the team. Why am I drawing a blank? But either way,
New York, Memphis.
I want to say he's in New York. But I can't remember.
Okay.
But either way, the man is shooting 50% from 3. They let this guy go.
That's good.
50%.
50%, yeah. That's damn good at 3.
So I don't know, man. I think OKC has a stench on them. And I think that Sam Presti needs to understand that he's part of that stench.
I called him out too.
But here's the thing. I think he's done everything that you want a GM to do outside of picking the right head coach. And that's difficult. I think that's probably the hardest thing to do. But I feel like Sam Presti has built up enough equity where you got to give him the opportunity to retool. Look, man, the man drafted 3 MVP candidates, dog.
And look at what else he's drafted since then.
But he hasn't drafted that high either.
Right, they've been in the 20s.
Exactly.
True. But and he did a good job of getting, and I gave him credit. You had a bad year. You went out, you got Melo, you got Paul George, and you did your job. Now, where he can be criticized is that you put yourself at a risk because you said that you were hoping that Paul George would stay around. Mm-hmm. And that's why you were willing to give up Oladipo and Sabonis. And now it looks like he's going to leave. I wouldn't want to stay there if I was him. Mm-mm. Not after playing under Billy Donovan.
Right.
I would want to go and play in L.A. or Philly.
Yeah.
Philly. You like him in Philly?
Honestly, I like him more in Philly than I do in L.A., mainly because I think this version of Paul George is better suited as a number 2 than the main guy. And I think in LA, they're going to be looking at him as the main guy. I'm not saying that he can't do it here and there, right. But like you said, before the leg injury, go to LA, be the guy. After the leg injury, go to Philly, be a guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't be the guy, be a guy. Because I think that he'll have more success being a guy versus being the guy. And I like everything that Philly's doing. Philly is becoming my favorite squad, mainly because I feel that you can plug in any piece as long as you have Embiid and Ben Simmons, and you can be successful because Brett Brown will figure it out. I think Brett Brown is the second best coach in the East behind Brad Stevens. When you look at Boston, right? You look at Boston. They not you put any other head coach in the NBA outside of maybe Popovich, and this is not a playoff team.
Bad look on Milwaukee, man. You get beat by a bruised up, banged up. Yeah.
Giannis, I told y'all.
Coaching, man.
It's not just Giannis. It's not just him. It's coaching. It's the. I want to say it was either the beginning of this season or last season. I said that Milwaukee needs to start making moves because they got too many of the same damn thing out there.
Yep.
Right, and I think the Eric Bledsoe move was good in theory, right? Because you need another ball handler because Giannis is a pseudo point guard, and I mean that in the strongest regard. You can't. He's not a point forward.
Right?
Can he handle the ball and create play? Of course, because he's your superstar.
Yeah,
but he's not Bron.
Yeah, he's not your.
He's not Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
He's not Draymond Green. He's not that. So you need a guy like a Bledsoe to come in, score, create plays. Share the rock with Giannis. But Bledsoe did that during the regular season. Playoff, where the hell was he? Who is Bledsoe? Right. I'm with Boston. Who is Bledsoe? I'm with that.
But Brad Stevens, though, man.
He's the
doing
guy.
That with that squad?
He's the guy. He's the guy. Man, look,
Danny Ainge for drafting getting those guys that he got. Rozier,
Jason Tatum, 28.
Right.
Rozier, 29.
Right.
And Shaq made a comment the other night. I know he's playing, but shit, Terry Rozier playing for a max contract.
Damn.
Tell me,
I didn't know that.
I'm just saying, I think he was saying that as a joke.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got it.
But at the end of the day, he's putting up max contract point guard numbers. Is he not?
Is backing up Kyrie, dude.
No. Let's do the take. Let me do my take.
Go ahead.
All right, Rozier balling. Team's banged up. Put it on Philly. We don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the series. I mean, we gave a lot of props to Kyrie, man, but they still balling without him.
Mm-hmm.
How valuable is Kyrie?
See, I know what you're doing. Go ahead, B.
Nah.
Brad Stevens, man, Brad Stevens is the mastermind. He is why they are as successful as they are. We're not going to sit here and just shit on Kyrie, man. Like, no.
I'm just saying, man,
No.
they haven't lost a step.
No. Would you say anything about your boy DeMarcus Cousins?
They haven't lost a step in New Orleans.
So would you say that?
I mean, they could use him against the Warriors.
Okay, then. So
but they don't need Kyrie against
They
Philly.
do.
They need
100%.
Kyrie if they want to win a championship.
Exactly. And that's the difference.
I don't know.
See,
Yes.
what do you mean you don't know? This is coming from the guy saying that Boston was a bad team before the playoffs.
Right.
What are you talking about? No, Kent, look, man. Why do we do this every year? Why?
They need Kyrie, man. Come on. Stop.
Kyrie is a difference maker. Now, when you have a great organization, system, coach, leadership, all of that type of intangibles that Boston has, you can plug in guys and you can win. But can you win it all? No. You know why? Because when it comes down to the crunch time moments to make a play, are you counting on Terry Rozier?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
He's made plays all year.
He's
hit game-winning threes all year.
But you were calling them a bad team.
I was calling them a lucky team.
He's just doing what you're supposed to do. Next player up, man. When a guy go down, next player up.
But you don't rely on that in championship moments.
Terry Rozier getting his Reggie Jackson on right now.
And that's cool. And Reggie Jackson playing himself out the NBA.
He's just been hurt. But I don't know, man. Like everybody's talking about, wait till they get Gordon Hayward back. Wait till they get Kyrie back. I don't know if they necessarily need those guys.
They need them, man. My goodness.
Tatum,
that makes them even
Brown.
deeper. That makes them deeper now. What
are you gonna do
that's
next year?
That's a coach.
What do you mean? What are you gonna be doing?
That's
Exactly.
a coach of paradise for someone like Brad Stevens.
There's certain problems that you want to have.
Right.
I'm too deep. I want that problem.
I want that problem. Right.
Look, Ken.
You don't want to just be 7 deep and happy.
Exactly. Look, Ken. Let me ask you, right? Like, there's a difference between guys with a household name and guys that just ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terry Rozier just balls. Kyrie's a household name. If you have
off of LeBron,
I'm not even going to touch that. But if you have 5 seconds left in the game, Terry's hot, Kyrie's hot, who you going to?
I think it's a toss-up.
I
think it's a toss-up.
Come on.
I'm out. Cut off my mic.
No way.
I think Terry Rozier hit more game winners this year than Kyrie.
Yo, you tripping. I remember. Look, man, if y'all follow me on Twitter and stuff, earlier this year, when I had Kyrie as the MVP favorite early in the year, if you look at the clutch time moments, 2 minutes and under, Kyrie was decimating everybody in the NBA. And what do we know about Kyrie if we don't know anything? Outside of his dribbling, clutch gene is probably his second highest attribute, dog.
Yep.
Out of anything else.
That dude want them big
Rozier
shots.
got it too, man.
Oh,
I think Jason Tatum got it too.
Look,
Tatum nice.
Look, here's the thing with Jason Tatum, though, Ken. He's a rookie. So you can't put that level of onus, especially because he wasn't that highly regarded coming out of Duke. Now, they knew he could play. Right. I'm not calling him no bum or nothing. Right. But he wasn't slated to be a superstar. he was slated to at least contribute and be nice and possibly become an all-star.
And he had to be forced into that starting position because of Gordon Hayward's injury. So it was like
it expedited the process.
It expedited the process.
And that's partly the reason why I always say let the young kids play in the NBA. Because you see what happens with a Jason Tatum. You also see what happens with a Jaylen Brown. They play early. They play in the playoffs.
Shout out to Danny Ainge.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Playoff basketball expedites your growth, your experience, your IQ. It expedites all of that stuff. So if you like Jason Tatum now, what do you think you're going to do next year?
That's why I don't think you need Gordon Hayward.
And I'm with you there because Gordon Hayward, I feel that he's reached his ceiling. How much more can he add to his arsenal? Right? Like, is it really IQ? Okay, fine. Brad Stevens takes care of that because you play within the system. Mm-hmm. Shooting, he's already a top-level scorer in the NBA. Defense, we know he's a premier defender. I'm not going to say the best, but he's amongst the best at his position.
Right.
What more can he do? But Jason Tatum could do a lot of what he can do, and he hasn't even scratched the surface. And he's on a rookie deal, right? So, to me, Gordon Hayward somewhat becomes expendable.
I think they're gonna let this upcoming season play out.
I think so too.
Like, when he's back full, and then I think they can reevaluate that. Cause
exactly.
Like, we can get Jason Tatum. We still got him for cheap. Let Gordon Hayward. Let's try to trade him and get something.
Because here's the thing, right? Like, you can work out a sign and trade with, let's say, a Pelicans. Yep. Let's say they want Boogie. If Boston wants Boogie, and obviously Gordon Hayward could help the Pelicans, they need a player like that, right? So there are scenarios where moving Gordon Hayward makes sense for Boston. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And I think that in your scenario, B, I'm with you letting Gordon Hayward play next season, and the reason being is because you need to understand what his value is. Mm-hmm. Because you try to trade him now, people going, low by he's injured. We don't know what he's going to be. Right. Okay, let him come back and average 20-something points a game. Mm-hmm. You still want to buy? Right. What you willing to give up now? Right. So I'm with you, B. I think he needs to play his value back up somewhat.
Yep. So what about them young gunners in Philly, man? They you think they were just missing shots last night? That's what it looked like to me.
That and coaching, that Brad Stevens, man, I can see him putting up something together to figure it out. If he can get past this Philadelphia 76ers with this squad that he has, how can you not mention him up as one of the great coaches right now today in the league?
I think he's done now.
I think coaching, and I don't think Philly's gonna miss a lot of shots that they missed the second game. They're definitely gonna make adjustments, and I can see them putting off game 2, tying the series up, going to Boston. But man, that coaching, man, just the way he was scheming Ben Simmons, man, I was just like, how is Marcus Smart locking up? Like, what the hell? So yeah,
Ben Simmons had a bad game.
You think so?
More turnovers than field goals made, I think.
But that can be caused
still
by
had 20.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, he still had 20 points. Yeah. Still had
20. Was almost a triple-double. It was an ugly 20 because of defense. Because it was the defensive schemes that Brad Stevens set up for him and made it difficult. Mm-hmm. So
he's going to see that all series long.
Yeah, he is.
And you know what? And just me being a fan of Brad Stevens, he's not going to see the same defense twice. Game 2 ain't going to be the same.
Ain't going to be the same, yeah.
Not going to be the same.
So
he's going to attack them differently.
We're going to see what these young boys about, this Philly squad about. Now
you know what? I think that when great teams go through the playoffs, every round is a different test. Yep. For Philly, this is the mentality test right here. Because that first series was more of a physical. Because you watched Miami.
Miami
James Johnson? He was all up in Ben Grill. Hey, what you want to do? They were physical.
Talking to him, talking trash to everything. Yeah.
So the first round was a physicality test. This round is going to be mentally. It's all going to be mental. Yep. Because Brad Stevens is that good where he could say, you're not going to hurt us. Okay, who I got on my squad?
Right.
You, sir, you, Mr. Inge. I don't care how much you score.
He said it during the game. He was like, Embiid can score as many points as he wants. We just don't want to give away threes. Mm-hmm. And that was the plan. And I was like, that's why they play Golden State so tough. Mm-hmm. Because they don't give up the three like that, and that's Golden State's primary
limit perimeter shots. And what did I say years ago? So I'm going way back, but remember the series Orlando versus Cleveland when Dwight Hito Turkoglu,
Yeah,
Rashard Lewis, Courtney Lee,
Michael Petrus,
Jameer Nelson, Michael Petrus,
and Mike Brown.
What did I tell you?
Mike Brown coaching for Cleveland.
Yeah, coaching for Cleveland. Mike Brown coaching for Cleveland. They had Stan Van Gundy.
I know where you're going.
What did I say that whole series? Let Dwight score 50.
And Mike did not do that.
Nope.
What did he do? He kept double teaming Dwight.
Yeah.
And then you kept giving up corner threes to Hito and Rashard. And then if they didn't get it, they swung the ball. And Jameer, all of the people that we named was killing you.
If I'm Mike Brown, I'm like, look, Big Z and Anderson Virgil, do y'all best y'all can on Dwight.
Yep.
Just
follow him.
Whatever.
The man shoot 50%.
Right. Do whatever you can, but we are not going to let Rashard Lewis, Hito Turkoglu, and him drain threes on us all day.
Nope. And see, and I think that when you have a situation like that, right, like you got to take away the head of the snake, right? And that's what Brad Stevens is doing. Ben Simmons, this is how we're gonna play you. We're gonna force you into tough decisions. We're gonna be pestering you all the way up court.
Coaching.
You know what I'm saying? And then with Embiid, hey, let him do that. Ilyasova,
JJ
Redick, Bellinelli, all of them. McConnell, you come in, you're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
Robert Covington, y'all not hitting nothing.
Yep.
And if you do that, you cut off the head of the snake and Ben. You let the tail of the snake and Joel do whatever the hell he want, and everything in between, you not getting it.
You know, Collins said this actually. He said that Markelle Fultz is a bust because he's not playing in this series. And because he's opting.
It's too early.
Yeah, and he midway didn't play through the Miami series.
Right.
And I think that when we watched him. Yeah.
No, it's fine. No. Go ahead.
And you know, when we watched him in that Miami series for the 2 games he did play, you saw boom or bust. Yeah. So I'm not going to call him a bust,
right,
but you saw boom or bust.
Yeah.
Mainly because
I didn't see bust. Where did you see bust?
He ain't want to shoot.
I don't know, man. I don't think
that's Ken. Hey, look, we cannot make apologies for this guy. You were the number 1 pick, and you're scared to shoot. You're scared to shoot. Why?
It's the playoffs. There are people on Cleveland team afraid to shoot. And
you're the number 1 pick, Ken. You're not number 18, and then all of a sudden you're put in this pressure pack situation.
Right.
You have 2 established stars now.
And you was getting buckets in college too.
Exactly.
No one getting buckets.
Exactly. It's not like you Lonzo averaging 12 and now we want you to get 22 a game.
Right.
You was getting 20 a game, bro.
You was getting 20
you were shooting threes, bro.
Right.
You were shooting. So when he played in them 2 games against Miami, you saw how he can slice and dice. He can get wherever he wants on the court at an elite level. When I watch him play and how he gets in between defenses, there's only one player it reminds me of, James Harden. But he has to shoot at least a mid-range jumper. What's wrong with your shoulder, bro? Is it really something wrong with your shoulder?
Right.
Is it mental? Are you not 100%? What is it? And
yeah,
that's the bust potential that I see. I'm not calling him a bust, but if you're the number 1 pick, you shot almost 40% from 3 in college. You averaged 20 points a game in college. What's the problem?
I don't know, man. I saw enough out of him to think that, you know, I think it's too early. Obviously, it's too early to call him a bust.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm with you.
But he definitely got a lot of bounce. Everything you said, he can get to the rack with ease.
Yeah.
But I think being out of the being out all year. And I think that's why he went with with T.J. McConnell over Markelle Fultz, because at this point in the playoffs, you can't develop him in the playoffs.
Right.
No, you can't.
It's too intense.
Yeah.
And I think another weakness to Markelle playing in the playoffs right now is defensive intensity. When he's out there, he plays the pass. He's super long, so he gets his hand on a lot of balls. But one-on-one defense, McConnell is way better than him. So just for those minutes that you want to put some of your ball handlers on the bench, to get them some breathing. To me, McConnell's a better option right now today than Markelle. Not saying that he's a better basketball player than Markelle Fultz, but right now today to win the game, I trust T.J. McConnell more than I trust Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz needs to build up that equity that I always talk about this offseason. And he needs to build it in Summer League. Yep. And he needs to build it in preseason. So by the time the regular season come out, it says, look, Y'all can question all my rookie season all you want, but guess what's gonna happen this year? Y'all gonna get these buckets, and that needs to be his mentality. He needs to sit back and watch these playoffs, see the difference, right? Because he's played in 2 playoff games. Yeah, he needs to understand the difference between regular season and playoffs, and take everything that you've learned, all of the lows of the season, all of the highs of the season, and he needs to come out next year and say, you know what? I know we got Embiid, I know we got Ben Simmons, but I'm the best guy on this squad.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the mentality he has to have.
Let's jump to the West, man. So, blowouts, first 2 games, kind of expected.
Of course.
We'll see adjustments. But
because Pelicans and Warriors game 2 tonight, as we're recording this. Yeah, Steph Curry coming back.
Curry back. They just demolished the Pelicans. But the Pelicans, wait, no, they swept. I'm thinking about Utah. Utah got demolished.
Yeah, Utah
by the Rockets. 41 by James Harden. Made it look easy. But remember, playoff P got Utah in game 1, and they won that series. But the Rockets look like they found their chemistry, their swagger.
Everybody's healthy.
Man. But I don't know, man. Like, what do you guys think about that series? Because nobody expected Utah to really win that first. Well, there were people that picked Utah.
Shit, nobody at this table.
Nah.
I didn't see that happening.
Yeah, nobody didn't think that rookie was going to outplay Russell Westbrook.
Who thought that? I knew he was going to have a good series, but outplay?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
You guys think the Pelicans can compete with the Rockets? The
Utah
Jazz.
Here's the interesting thing about this matchup, right? Utah is one of the best defensive teams in the NBA all season and through the playoffs.
So is Utah.
And so is Utah. But what did I say? I said the Rockets.
You mean Utah?
I meant Utah. I meant Utah. Yeah. But the way that Houston wants to attack defenses weakens how Utah likes to play their defense, right? Because they funnel they funnel everything to Gobert. The man's 7'4" with hops and long arms, right? So even if he doesn't get a block, he changes almost every shot.
Right.
But the way that Houston likes to attack is primarily off of the pick and roll, and you have to guard Clint Capella. And because of that, it takes Rudy out of what he wants to do. And then obviously they have shooters all over the place. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they decide to guard that. If I was Quinn Snyder, and obviously I'm not an NBA head coach, but I think I would try some zone against James Harden. Mainly because I need my backline defense. I can't have all of these rim runs by Clint Capella after these pick and roll situations.
Some zones, huh?
Yeah, just to kind of give James and CP something to think about. Just not okay, cool. I'm running the pick and roll. My guy's trailing. I got help coming. Let me just throw it over the top. Like I just feel that they need to figure out something else, like another wrinkle to have the decision maker, ball handler, kind of second guess himself. You know what I'm saying? Like James Harden and CP were so decisive in that game, so decisive. What they wanted to do, they did.
Yep.
And did. And Jesus Christ.
And I think that me being a point guard, when I run pick and roll, and I'm like, and I'm hesitant. Right. That messes up the whole flow. And Houston's offense is predicated off of that pick and roll. So I'm not saying that this is the complete answer. Oh, just run zone and you'll beat them. No, I'm not saying that. But in instances, I would throw a zone look to see how they want to kind of, change their offense toward that. And then we'll see what their adjustments are when we do that. Because if we start to do that a lot and it messes with it, well, we're going to do that until they figure it out.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and Eric Gordon didn't have a good game. I think he only had 7 points. I don't even think he hit a shot.
Right.
So it doesn't bode well for them. Donovan looked like he struggled a little bit early. He got it going a little bit late.
I think he was missing Rubio.
That's gonna be
he's missing Rubio. Yeah, I don't know
how long is he out for?
I don't know if it's something serious. He might miss the second game as well, but I think he's gonna come back. But I just don't know how effective he's gonna be when he come back.
And that's the other thing about OKC. Ricky Rubio go out and you can't win that game. They had Joe Ingles running the point guard.
Yep,
Are
they
you
sure did.
Serious?
Right.
Paul George.
What? I give Donovan the MVP, but Joe Ingles was the real MVP. Man,
Come on, that series.
Yeah, in OKC, he was the real MVP. Because you know what, man? I think he got Paul George out of his head a little bit.
He did in a couple of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he did. He sure did.
Staring him down, buzzing threes in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm like, woo. I'm like, all right, Joe.
Yeah, but they need that Joe to show up.
Yeah.
If they have any shot against Houston,
if not, they're gonna get swept.
Got to play big.
They're gonna get swept. If they don't.
I'm with you.
I can see both series getting swept if they don't get their stuff together. I want to see playoff Rondo. I want to see the same playoff Rondo and Drew Holiday I saw in the first round against.
But I don't think you're gonna see that. I don't think you're gonna see that mainly because in this series for them, Rondo and Drew Holiday were both able to physically dominate Dame and CJ. I don't think they can physically dominate Clay. Steph, we don't know. We got to see. We got to see what Steph is right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Steph is. I haven't seen this man play damn near 2 months. I don't know what we're gonna get. But in terms of Rondo or Drew trying to check Clay. Man, 6'7", 215, 220, man. He not 6'3" CJ. He not 6'1" Dame Lillard. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole different animal. Plus, he don't have to dribble to score. So what type of pressure you gonna put on me? You gonna chase me all around? You know what I'm saying? You gonna stop me from shooting? Like, so it's a different matchup for him.
So AD might get swept by Golden State again because he wants some get back.
Of course
he does, but he's they were on record saying that the pace, Clay at least said that the pace affected them a lot. In that one they weren't really basically. And Gentry he coached for them, so. Oh wow, they called a foul on that.
I know we're watching the game for those that's listening. We're live.
Cleveland has had so many chances
the Cleveland and Toronto game
to take the lead and put pressure on the Raptors, and they're missing layups. Korver missed a three. LeBron's taking bad threes. Oh my God, are you serious?
Because his foot.
I know you're supposed to give him room to come down, but.
Yeah, but it's not like he invaded his space like that. You know, there's certain players that have a forward momentum when they shoot, and I don't think that's 100% fair for the defender. Like I always say, man, the defender needs to have some rules. You know what I'm saying? That defend him against calls like this, like that. Like, come on, man. LeBron didn't get underneath him.
Right. He was running away from from him.
He didn't get under. Now some defenders will come and they'll try to close out so hard they get underneath your landing space.
Yeah.
I don't feel that that's what that situation was right here.
Wow. I mean, Cleveland had a couple of shots, but I'm looking at this and.
He's running back. He's going back to the rebound.
Well, we'll see what the L2M say on that one. A lot of people are looking at that Pacer Cleveland series and were like, "Oh man, Toronto gonna blow them out." The matchups are different.
Yeah, like playoffs are about matchups.
There's no Oladipo on this team,
right?
That can blow by everybody like that. You know, they're not. Well, so Valanciunas is getting off, but he don't put Tristan Thompson in the game. I don't think he played him in the first half, so Tristan Thompson has kind of nullified him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, here it is. It's a 1 point. Well, it was a 1 point game. While we're recording, 101-102. But I think Cleveland's gonna take this one.
You think with this series, how many games?
They got to do it in 6.
At home, so you don't want to come back to here for Game 7.
It's not like Toronto has this major home court advantage. I don't think nobody on this Cleveland squad is scared of Toronto.
I think
the team or the city.
Yeah, what I like about what I'm seeing tonight, and I have to look at the box score. I'm kind of watching and talking, but it seems like everybody is kind of starting to get involved, relax a little bit, hit buckets. JR got 17, and I think they're just not scared of Toronto, man, and it's going to come with LeBron. But they've had a lot of opportunities to take the lead, but they just haven't hit the shots. But they've been trailing pretty much the whole game. So something that we didn't talk about, maybe we should go back to kind of revisit it. I know it was in our text message thread where LeBron in the last series was the first time ever where he didn't have a teammate score 20 points.
Yeah, that's unheard of, dude.
Ooh,
like how you
look at that, man. 15th year, Ken. How?
I don't know, and that's what when I was watching Game 7 actually, and all I kept thinking I was going to actually text you guys. I'm like, I've never seen anybody like LeBron. Oh, wide open three, corner three.
Go, K-Love. Get that paycheck, boy. Get that. Don't call no foul now. Don't call no foul.
Either foul or jump ball.
Told you.
How?
Oh, they called a foul on K-Love?
Elbow.
Oh, what the hell happened? Did my joint die? Oh, I'm about to say.
Swinging the elbow, and all he did.
But, again, you have just because somebody else goes down doesn't mean it's a foul on me.
Right.
They called that same call on Ben Simmons against Marcus Smart.
Look. You know what? To me, it's one thing if your elbows are wider than your body.
Look how close he is to him.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
And they're going to call that a flagrant, too. Watch.
Because Kevin Love's not that type of player. Now, if that was Ron Artest, I can see that being a flagrant. But,
that's a bad call. That's a bad call. This is what I be talking about. The NBA is soft. This right here. That's soft. Back in the day, that's play on. You want to stay on the floor because your jaw hurt, that's fine. You stay there. But we going to play on. You can't call that. If I get the rebound, I have the right to get you off of my personal body.
Right.
You don't want to get elbow, move your damn face out the way.
Yeah.
Karl Malone used to be the master.
Man, yeah, he sure was.
See, and I agree what Karl Malone used to do being a foul in this NBA.
Yeah.
Your elbows extended like that because Karl used to help
Just
where you
turn around. Yeah.
Him and Alonzo Mourning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the ball. Look,
come
if
on.
you in this way, if you trying to swipe, you gonna catch a ball. Like you gonna catch it. All I'm doing is turn around looking for the outlet.
But what Kevin Love, he literally bear hugged the ball.
Right.
If you catch this elbow, that's on you, not me.
And they kind of teach you to do that so nobody will be on you like that.
You know what I also feel was a weak call in these playoffs?
What's that?
That foul on Bradley Beal when he fouled out.
Oh, yeah, that was a terrible.
I'm standing here. Yeah. He runs into me, but you call a foul on me.
Yeah, that was.
How?
That should have been no call. It should just been no call.
Ball out of bounds.
Whoever is it touched.
Exactly.
That's it.
How is that a foul on me when I'm standing here? He runs into me.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, the same thing happened when on Miles Turner. They called one on Larry Nance. Miles Turner kind of jumped over him. Larry Nance was kind of holding his nose. And Miles Turner kind of hit him on the butt and fell down. They called a foul on that. Yeah. And Larry Nance didn't even make any movement or had any action towards him at all. So it was weird.
One.
Ooh, big shot.
Got him.
Big rebound. Thank you, K-Love.
And see that. So calling that play because he didn't want to swing the elbow, so he held the ball up so they can go get that ball. Oh yeah, you gotta
get a jump ball. Oh yeah. This is light work. Let's go, Bron.
Who was that? DeRozan? Or was that Lowry? No.
Why you?
Oh!
I know. I feel you though. I feel you.
So what you want Bron to do in that situation? Power him? Overpower him?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you want jump hook Bron?
He's been a little off tonight though on his jumper. That's why I didn't think that was there. Yeah, man, you're right. If Toronto mess around and lose this game, because this is 12. Okay, so it's a 6-point difference between the
6.5.
6.5. So if they score, they can actually win the game on a 3. And I think LeBron would probably go for the 3 because he's going to play for his legacy. He's going to play for that post.
I think Bron is. I think 9 times out of 10 he's going to make the right play. Now, if they go down 3, I could see Bron taking a 3. But if they stop him this possession, right, get the ball back with some time, I don't think Bron's going to take a 3. I think I'm not saying he's not going to take a jumper, but I definitely think it's going to be a 2.
Okay, so either he's going to take a 3. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's going to take a 3, or he's going to dribble and kick it out the court with somebody in the corner for a 3, which is what he does. So that speaks more to what you're talking about. I think he's going to go for that post-career, add to my highlight reel shot. Yeah, like he did against Indiana, which was a hell of a shot. But they should count their blessings on that one because they blew that.
Since we're talking LeBron and clutch moments, I think I was listening to Nick Wright talk about every elimination game that LeBron has been in since he made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think this man averages almost 40 points a game in elimination games, man. So this whole thing, this whole notion that LeBron isn't clutch comes from one place, Mr. Bayless. And I don't know how else to say it. LeBron is the greatest basketball player we've watched.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that was born 80 or later, he's get a rebound. Time out.
Ooh.
0.6, tie that 105.
That's a catch and shoot.
It is.
That's a catch and shoot. 0.6. Dang.
Oh, wow.
And Toronto had like 2 good opportunities.
Yeah, they did.
That 3 and that putback.
Who's that, Van Fleet that shot that?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he can hit that. He was wide open. I thought it was going in.
Yep.
That's
This is the NBA.
That's going to haunt him if they lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
Him missing that 3 because he had a wide open look.
Oh, Lowry got his head down. Uh-oh.
What that supposed to mean? You give it up?
Damn, LeBron again.
Yo, they lose this game, man. They are officially the sorriest team in the playoffs.
I know every game is different and there is no carryover. At least that's what the professional athletes like to say.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, man. I think if you're Cleveland and you come out and you lose an OT and as a team, because LeBron has 24, 11, and like 9. So he's back to, they're back to, Cleveland basketball where he can be that Swiss Army knife. Mm-hmm. So I think that should bode well for them. And just the matchup's different. It's the second round. You've learned a lot. You've learned to value every possession. So we'll see. But God, what play would you call here? Korver can get one off.
I think I would draw up a play with multiple options. I think that the first option would be a lob pass, tip situation toward the rim. 2 and 3 options would be, obviously Kyle Korver, LeBron James. So again, I don't know if I would have LeBron going for the tip or having LeBron being like the safety release if my first 2 options aren't there. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a multitude of ways. I don't think that you can draw up a bad play. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even if you have a turnover, it's only going to be a turnover.
Right.
Like it's going to be hard to lose this game.
Who's
right
now?
now?
Jeff Green.
Mm-hmm. But I think you give it to Bron. You give it to Bron and you say, "Hey, take us home."
Is Thompson out there?
I don't think so.
LeBron is a decoy.
Green.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, get the Bron. There you go.
There you go. Right there.
Ooh,
right there. Right there.
Bang.
Got it.
Oh! He almost got that joint. He almost got that.
He got it. I think he got it in the spot he didn't want it.
Mm-mm.
So yeah,
it was slightly a bad pass. He needed to pass it once he made that back cut on him. Oh, he got it off too.
Oh, ooh. Oh man!
If he would have made that shit, man.
And plus, he wasn't squared. He caught it already leaning.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was a tough shot. Because
the guy, he was trying to go back behind the 3-point line, and the guy played him that way, so he cut towards the basket. But man, I would have preferred to seen that shot because that would have been fun to talk about.
Oh yeah, especially.
But all right, so Pelicans. Man, we thought they had a shot, man. But when I saw Mirotic on Kevin Durant,
you already knew.
I was like, oh my God, nah. This a wrap.
Yeah, he's not gonna have the same series he had last.
Yeah, this is a
last
wrap.
series.
No. Rotations are way tighter, bro.
Yeah,
you better get that pump fake and that 1-2 dribble because you ain't gonna get that 3 like that.
And defense, he couldn't stay with KD at all.
No, but we know that.
I know, but it looked
just so obvious. It was painfully obvious. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. That's how bad it was. And then Jrue Holiday, he made some shots, but I think they missed some shots, and I think Golden State wanted to come out and prove a point and put them down.
I think Golden State is starting to wake up a little bit now. Remember how we was always saying throughout the regular season, oh, they bored. They just bored. Mm-hmm. They just, coasting. They just on cruise control right now. We gonna get in. You know what, Houston, y'all can have that number 1 seed. Whatever. We just cruising. We want to make sure we get everybody healthy. And I think now, I'm pretty sure they was hearing the yapping about all this Houston talk and everything. And I think
the Pelicans too.
Yeah, and the Pelicans can the Pelicans knock them off and all that stuff. I think now they starting to wake up. I think they starting to really get down and dirty, and they like, look, let's go ahead and just show them that can't nobody mess with us, man. With Durant,
and you can see it in how they play ball because when Golden State is dominant, you could tell they're having fun.
You can tell they're having,
Like this ain't even work, bro. I'm not thinking, hey, bro, what you want? Behind the back
What?
alley? We gonna throw it. You know, so they're playing loose. I think Golden State plays the best when they play loose, and we're just starting to see that. Yep. And that's kind of scary. And I think it's kind of scary for them to do what they did to the Pelicans without their most important player. That's kind of scary. But, you know, here's the thing. I feel like I'm not going to really be able to judge Golden State until they get to the conference finals. Because against Houston. Because the way
be a good one, boy.
Because the way Houston plays, they can play at Golden State's pace. You hit 3 threes, 4 threes, and for almost every other team, that demoralizes you. Houston's like, I bet we're going to hit 6 threes.
That's all they shoot are threes.
That's all they shoot are threes. So they can keep pace in terms of scoring. So I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting because the way that D'Antoni staggers Harden and CP's minutes, they barely play together. You know what I'm saying? So you literally have a 1-2 punch regardless of who else is on the court with them. So I think that series, just looking forward, is going to come down to how well Golden State's bench plays. Because that bench is going to have to contend with CP3. And nobody on that bench can contend with CP3.
Oh, and then they bring Eric Gordon off the bench. They bring Gerald Green off the bench.
Joe Johnson.
Man,
they got guys.
That's going to be a series right there,
They
man.
got guys.
I hope Steph get back healthy the way he is because when they play Houston, that's going to be a good-ass series, boy. I would not be surprised if that go into a whole 7-game series, man. I would love for that to happen because talk about legacy on the line. I mean, if he – you got Harden playing the West Conference Finals, CP3 playing this first West Conference Finals. Like, can they finally get that, you know, that
monkey? Yeah,
that monkey off their back because, you know, we always say Harden disappears. You know, that's been the thing on CP or CP haven't even made to the West Conference Finals. Can they show up in playoffs? So
and you know what adds even more pressure to that pressure that you're already talking about is the fact that James Harden not only balled in the regular season, he's doing it right now.
Yep.
So when you get to the conference final, you can't have no let off.
Can a D'Antoni squad finally get to the finals, get over that hump, and beat a quality team in the series?
And you know what's crazy about this D'Antoni squad? These boys play defense.
Yeah,
they were a top 10 defensive team all year.
A D'Antoni squad.
D'Antoni.
Right.
Yeah, because it was they actually did an article on that, and they credited there's some coach they brought in to turn them into like a defensive powerhouse.
Really?
Yep.
It's a brother, wasn't it?
If they made,
I don't know if it was brother. I don't know his name. I didn't finish reading the article in full, but I just thought it was interesting. I meant to go back and read it because, like I said, we knew what the offense was going to do.
Right.
But how do you get them boys to play defense?
But did we really know what the offense was going to do with James Harden and CP?
No,
because
nobody did.
I know I had major questions.
Yeah, we didn't think it was going to turn out, but shit, it's like almost like a match made in heaven for them right now. Like.
Yeah, and which is another indictment against, you know, Billy Donovan. You know, he made
Harden.
2 pieces that, for all intents and purposes, shouldn't even work. And it works. And
2 ball dominant scoring. Well, 1 scoring point guard, 1 true point guard, but still ball dominant either way.
And
Brown with a triple double right now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and they're up 111, 107. So this DeRozan time, man. DeRozan, he just hit a shot, but DeRozan and Lowry, man, this is what your stars are for.
Right.
And as we, you know, I've been sitting here just kind of watching it, watching and talking, and the longer and longer the game goes along, the more and more you start to kind of feel LeBron's impact on the game. It's starting, you can kind of almost see it on the court. His energy's picking up, his teammates are picking up, and we didn't even talk about that shot. Like, they were down. They were down by 2 points. That shot was to tie the game. So again, that was another clutch shot. So yeah, man. But nah, man. I think the Pelicans, and I can't wait to watch this game next because I want to see what adjustments will Gentry do against the Warriors, because he knows that team. He knows how they like to play. And he knows their style, and he sort of built a style similar to it with Etuan Moore hitting threes, Ian Clark hitting threes. He should have played better because he played in that stadium. But you know, I understand the circumstances are different. And who was that just got a dunk? Was that KD? And I got to give KD some props, man. Oh, there they go. But Anthony Davis got to show up. Remember on the last show, we asked, is it Anthony Davis time? And he has to show up. Oh, long three. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
See, you know how I was talking about I'd rather have Russ as a – I would never have Kyle Lowry. Never. I don't want that guy if I'm a coach. I'm sorry. All-star, I don't want him.
That was a wide-open shot, though.
But you know, Ken, going back to what you were saying – oh, he traveled. You know how you were saying that the longer the game goes on, the more of an impact that you have?
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, the longer the game goes on, the more worried DeMar and Kyle Lowry look.
Ooh, how is that not an offensive foul?
Okay.
Home cooking. Hey, remember what B say? Why you? Because I called out Kyle Lowry. He had his head down. You know, he not say look defeated, but he didn't look right. Like that's not what you want to see from your leader, and he's been a leader on this team.
You got to real.
Come on, Tristan.
Nah, I've been.
Jesus Christ, this is cut and roll.
Oh, he don't know what to do.
Oh, good defense. That was a good defense sequence on him. Oh.
But yeah, Tristan. Yeah, why are they running plays with them two? Like, well, Tristan didn't roll, right?
That was the problem.
That was good defense.
So then they kind of got it. Yeah, no, that was. But yeah, I think the other thing is that, and the reason why they won Game 7 is what I've been saying on this show. They need to play Tristan.
Oh, good
move.
That was a good shot too.
Grab the rebound. Why are you trying to tip it in? Just grab that. Like that was a good move. You know, it just didn't go in. That's it.
All right.
Oh,
he was aggressive though. That's okay.
You know that move that K Love just pulled out? You know what I like to call that? A jiu-jitsu move.
A jiu-jitsu move?
Yeah. Because you know jiu-jitsu is the art of using like your own momentum against you.
Okay.
So he knew he had the clock. So he anticipated the defender to pretty much jump at any fake that he was going to give him. And that's what he did. He just used the time clock possession against the defender and got a better shot that he should have made. Because he gets paid millions of dollars to make it. And one?
Kyle Lowry, yeah.
But these were bad possessions. The first one, Kevin Love just missed a shot. Well, Tristan should have grabbed the rebound instead of trying to tip it in. But with the last one, LeBron trying to sweep and hook shot, and that was actually smart by Toronto because they saw that Kevin Love was on, who was that, Lowry?
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's easy. That's easy money. So, yeah, you go right at him. But they need to do something. Like Valanciunas is just sitting in the paint. So you got to bring, and I think that's what they were trying to do, like bring him out of that paint so he can't sit there and clog the lane. So again, it's coaching, man. Like, what are you doing? And he probably could have scored there. So we'll see.
You think Pelicans gonna get a game at this Golden State series? They're gonna get one. AD gonna get swept by Golden State again.
I think they could get at least one. I believe. I'm not saying that they are, but I truly believe that they can. I think they're talented enough to at least steal one game.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't want to we've been watching basketball a long time, so we know not to overreact to game one.
Right. You see adjustments being made.
There you go.
Ooh.
Bang, what?
Bang bang.
I thought LeBron was gonna take that.
That's Cleveland ball.
I thought he was gonna take that too.
Did I miss something? Or didn't he have a layup? Was somebody there?
Somebody was there.
But you could have still.
He could have forced.
I thought he was gonna dunk on somebody.
Oh, they ain't showing that back lane. Oh, it's off a.
Yeah, like why?
So
why
it's
you looking
Cleveland
at
ball.
that? Yeah, it's Cleveland ball.
Oh my! Because I thought the lane was wide open, but wow, I was like, dang. But yeah, no, I think the why are they looking at that? The
Last
Pelicans.
2 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta look at it.
Yeah, y'all getting our live reactions
as we watching the game. I know, right? How raw is that?
See, look, y'all welcome. Y'all welcome.
Right.
But yeah, they don't have to look at that. Like we know what it is. But Corver got to hit that three, man. He playoff Corver.
He hit a three at the beginning of the overtime. He pump fake dribble. He wet that bad
You're
boy.
40% 3-point. You got to hit that shot.
That was pretty deep, though. It was pretty deep.
True.
It was
And
pretty deep.
he don't really shoot from the top of the key like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's not really his threes. He typically
Corner wings.
corner or wings. That straight line three is typically for those off the dribble point guards, those pick and roll point guards. You practice that shot a lot more than what Kyle Korver does, because you look at the way Kyle Korver attacks defenses. He's always coming off the baseline, running curls, coming off screens, doing all of that. That straight ahead three, that's not really his game. Not saying he can't hit it. And obviously he gets paid to hit it. So I feel you can, but at the same time, it's one of those things. He misses that one, you kind of, okay. He misses a wide open corner three, then you can get on him.
I think he just has a history in the playoffs of not showing up and missing threes. So, all right, 31 seconds. LeBron at the top of the key, 113, 112, 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
OG Anunoby is guarding him.
Physical, letting him get physical.
Okay,
Then cut him off. 3 seconds,
Brown.
step back 3.
Ooh.
That's a bad possession. That's
That
a bad
is.
possession. Bad possession.
What, they
Awful.
call traveling?
No,
Nah,
shot clock
shot
violation.
clock
It didn't hit the rim.
Mm-mm.
Bad, horrible possession. Horrible. Horrible.
Damn, I want to mess up the walls. But again, that's Tyronn Lue, man. What are you doing?
But that could be a lot of LeBron, too. That could
That
be a
did hit
lot.
the rim.
No,
Nah,
it hit the
right side of the
backboard. Trust me.
That could be a lot of LeBron too, but but that happens way too many times.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying it's Bron, because even if Lou drew up a play or he just went to Bron and said, Bron, bring us home, that's on Bron. Bron has to get you a better shot than that. You're supposed to trust your best player with the squad. You should know what to do on the court when it's your time to do the things you get paid to do.
And who do they run a pick and roll with? Korver?
Yeah.
Bring Thompson. Because you know why? Because he has chemistry with the number one, and he has chemistry with Korver. But Thompson is known; he can roll to the basket.
He did
or
in the
can
last
throw-
play.
He could,
But
that was with a different person, though.
But as a coach, why am I going to run the same play to put you in the same position that you were in before?
Right.
You should be ready. You're a big man.
Because you're LeBron James, and you tell him, "I need you to do what you need to do."
And Ken, I understand all of that. But as a coach, I'm looking at it from the coach perspective, because obviously Lou called that play for the pick and roll between Kyle Korver and Tristan Thompson. Kyle Korver ain't out here calling no plays. That came from Lou.
Which is a bad call by Lou. Why are you calling?
Why is that a bad call? You have your best screener screening for the best shooter, and the shooter made the right decision because your big man that is not a 3-point shooter or jump shooter should have rolled to the basket.
No, I feel you, but you can't. DeRozan, can you deliver? Can't wait too long, bruh. That's it. He got it. Oh.
Again? Timeout.
Oh!
You didn't call timeout? Oh, okay. They won.
Did they call a foul?
He
Oh!
called nothing.
Oh! Toronto! No, you didn't.
Y'all the sorriest team
Wait,
in
did
the
they call a
playoffs.
foul?
No, they ain't called nothing.
What are they doing then?
Everybody's just in.
No,
in
bro,
shock.
hold on. You sure? No, they called something. LeBron is animated. What is?
We need some.
Oh,
volume. We need some volume.
no. Y'all don't do this. Oh, they're saying that Toronto fouled Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no foul. Well, I don't know. Either way, it's LeBron's ball.
LeBron's trying to call a foul.
Nah, Bron tips it to Tristan. Tristan gets it, and he's like, I don't want this. So then he passed it.
So either way, because they're calling timeout too.
They got timeout.
So the timeout probably happened before the foul. So either way it go.
Or the timeout happened before the foul. Yep. So it should be some time.
It's not. It shouldn't be enough. Well, unless they turn the ball over and something crazy happens. But okay, let's talk about this. Y'all about to hear this live. We about to react to this live. Live reaction. Live reaction.
Look, Ken, giddy as hell like a motherfucker.
I am. Because I don't know, man. These storylines about LeBron putting out team, like the Pacers have been. LeBron has been the Pacers' nemesis, right?
Mm-hmm. And Toronto.
Toronto. That's where I was going. Toronto. So here you are, number 1 seed. Look at Lowry. Look at Lowry.
He looked pissed. Oh, that should have been a yes.
That's going to be a meme. You're up like 11 or 12. You're controlling the game, and
at home.
At home.
Game one,
and you blow it. Like, there's no other way to.
You're supposed to take care of business game one at home. You got to.
And you were leading down the stretch.
Right.
Because you're supposed to establish yourself as the dominant team. And all Toronto continues to do is to acquiesce to whatever LeBron wants to do. LeBron, even though Toronto as a squad was ahead of the game, like you said and you alluded to earlier, Ken, it feels like LeBron. Because we're over here watching the game with no sound. Mm-hmm. So we're not getting swayed by no commentator, by the crowd, by nothing. We are solely watching basketball in its purest form. And we see that LeBron is the barometer of this game. If LeBron is playing well, then you see the impact, and now Cleveland's winning. Obviously, they're going to win this game, or they should win this game. Well, the time isn't all the way
3
gone.
seconds. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't catch it. You can't do nothing but tip. And Cleveland has the rock. So I'd even throw it to Toronto. Be like, do something with it. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, if I'm
that's it right there.
If I'm Toronto, I'm so sick right now.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I am so
you gotta be sick because now they have home court advantage, and LeBron just got you again. And look, I'll say it. I know, but I'm gonna jump out there like I always do. Toronto better hope they get a game.
Wow! So you calling a sweep? You calling a possible sweep?
They better hope they get a game. They'll probably win game 2, the next one.
Game 2.
But they have to feel defeated right now.
Of course, 1,000.
This hurts.
1,000. Of course, this hurts. Now, let me ask you: if they go down 0-2,
it's over. It's going to be a sweep. It's going to be a sweep. Yeah, it's going to be a sweep. They're not going to.
That's how you feel, B. If Toronto goes down 0-2 to Cleveland, they're getting swept.
Yeah. I was about to say gentlemen sweep. I was about to say gentlemen. I was like, if they go down 0-2, I can see Cleveland taking a day off and giving them one game at home. Going up 3-1, coming back to Toronto and finishing out.
Toronto's
I can see that happening.
Toronto's weapon is their bench. Their bench is, and they play defense, but for the most part, is their bench. Their bench is what helps separate them from a lot of other teams.
Their depth.
But if you can neutralize that or find a way to match it, then what? And you can do that with LeBron. So, it could possibly be a gentleman's sweep, and that may very well happen. But the difference between the Pacers and the Raptors clearly is the speed and the physicality of the game.
Right.
There's no Thaddeus Young getting anything. Thaddeus Young, Miles Turner, Sabonis got anything they wanted. And for a while, and credit Casey, Valanciunas was getting in everything he wanted. And then Tyronn Lue put in Tristan Thompson. It just shut all that down. Yep. And he was still an impact because, he's 7. Yeah. But the physicality, he was able to match. So he couldn't push him around, which is, like I was saying, they need to play Thompson. I told Tyronn Lue they should have played Thompson early in that series. But for me, man, so let's talk about that last play. DeRozan got the ball. He's coming up. He's deadly mid-range shooter. Why would he even drive that far into the lane when he can probably get what he wanted on free throwing up or free throwing in? Like you that's your shot.
You know what, Ken? Because that's part of having the clutch gene, meaning that in those moments your head is clear because you know exactly what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and can't nobody stop you. And that play kind of looks like he was cluttered, he didn't know. He was frazzled. LeBron's winning. He coming back. I got to do something. And he just overplayed. Like, you have to know what you are and who you are. So that way, when you're in those moments, you can revel in those moments, right?
Damn.
He
literally just came off the bench. First time in the game, ran a pick, caught number bottom of the net. I'm watching this. It's the Golden State and New Orleans Pelicans game.
Steph Curry just hit his first 3.
Jesus Christ, dude! And the way he just came and just hit that shit, water.
He
the
best shooter all time.
Oh my God!
Not close. See, look, boom. Not the floodgates.
Do you think sometimes we be in the moment though? I mean, I feel you. Steph Curry, he's a hell of a damn shooter. But like when I look back at like Ray Allen stuff, or like I'd be like, damn, Ray Allen shit was.
Yeah, no. Hey, look,
you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people,
sir.
and I know, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. Stephen Curry, I can probably, look at that, bam, first shot of the game. I can argue with people that Steph Curry is the best shooter I've ever seen, but like I think sometimes
We forget.
Like when you look at shooters from when we was growing up, playing ball, you like, ooh man, like Chris Jackson.
That's a good question.
Chris Jackson, dude.
You talk about Mahmoud Abdul, the Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
I think a lot of people sometimes get so caught up in the greatness we're witnessing in Steph Curry, they forget.
Yeah, there was guys
there was
before.
some wets, dude.
There was some guys
Craig
before.
Hodges,
And you know what?
Wets.
Maybe the difference is the fact that I'll say it. That's all he does, right? And that's
Right.
not to say he doesn't do anything else. 'Cause he
Right,
does do
right,
everything.
right.
But
Primarily.
his game
Is
like
the three.
is the 3-point shot. So he's shooting a lot of them. So we see him take and make a lot of them.
Yep.
Whereas when Ray Allen was shooting the ball, like we saw it a lot when he played with Miami. And,
Right.
he kind of became that and somewhat with Boston. But he didn't shoot them at a high volume the way that Steph Curry
shooting,
does.
yeah.
So if Ray Allen
Man, I'm saying
bottoms.
Yeah, I know.
Bottoms.
So had
Like,
one of the best fucking strokes, dude.
And Young Ray, Yam on you too.
Right,
oh yeah, Young
right.
Ray, man. People don't know about Young Ray.
That's what I'm saying. People forget, man. A lot of people forget.
Glenn Big Dog Robinson,
Yes.
Sam Cassell,
Rashard
Ray
Lewis,
Allen.
Man.
Who's the black guy that he could play in this NBA? Something Thomas. Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas
Stretch
was
four.
a problem.
Stretch four.
Yep,
Yeah.
stretch four before before the term.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, Milwaukee was a squad.
Yeah,
Y'all
man. People
go
forget it.
pull up Ray Allen.
I think people forgetting
Milwaukee,
about Jesus
Seattle
Shuttlesworth,
days.
man.
Yes.
People forgetting about Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Shout out to He Got Game. That was the
Yeah.
anniversary today.
The only
Wow.
shooting thing that I won't concede to Steph is the most clutch 3-point shooter. The most clutch 3-point shooter I've ever seen.
Probably Reggie Miller. Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Reggie
Hands
Miller.
down.
Reggie Miller.
Hands down.
Is
need
it
a
because
three?
Reggie been in more moments though?
You know what? I think sometimes there's players that take a moment, right? Like this can be anybody else, but they come into that moment with the mentality, I'm the best player. And I think Reggie had more of those moments where he stole the show. You didn't even worry about me, but I stole the show. And I think Reggie took a lot of those moments.
And the thing about Reggie is Reggie thought he was as good as Michael Jordan.
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
did.
thought he was
Yeah.
as good as Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And a lot of players actually did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, people
that's a
forget.
good point.
Yeah, people forget. You know, you talk about good shooters. It's like Steph Curry. He's definitely on his way of, if not already there, as being the best shooter in ever that I've ever seen. But people forget about these old shooters, man. Like I think sometimes get so caught up.
You know what, B? I give you that. Sometimes people, I do feel people do get caught up. But, you know, me knowing you guys, I know that we've all watched basketball 20-plus years. I know that we don't forget. And just thinking about those shooters.
And I'm just saying it for our
Yeah,
audience.
yeah, of course.
Really,
the audience
I'm not
and
saying
all
it
of
for
that.
y'all.
No,
too. I'm
of
just
course,
saying
of
for
course,
our
of course,
audience.
of
Like,
course.
man,
But
do the knowledge, do the research.
of course. But when I watch Steph, and, you know, to your point, Ken, Steph takes way more 3-pointers than any one of those older guys did, just because it's a different NBA. But when I try to judge him, you know what I'm saying? What I'm looking for, right, is the level of effortlessness. Steph's shot is the most effortless 3 I've seen, right? What
Shoots like it's nothing.
it's nothing. Like the ball don't weigh nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Quick release.
Quick release. And the thing that I've seen Steph do more than all of the other great shooters is shoot over bigger opponents. Shoot over. You remember when Steph went for like 50-something in Madison Square and he was shooting all over Tyson Chandler? I'm talking about Tyson Chandler's in his grill.
7'2" Tyson Chandler.
I'm jabbing. I didn't take no dribble. I shoot over you. I have not seen a player do that consistently or as consistent as Steph. So those are some of the things that I look for to kind of distinguish. Okay, look, I understand it's a different time, this, that, whatever. So what makes Steph different than all of these other shooters? Because people always say, oh, well, he shoots off the dribble more. Yeah, but there were other great point guards to shoot off the dribble. Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Then Steve Nash off the dribble was crazy. Yeah. Mark Price off the dribble was crazy.
Mark Price, shout out to Mark
Isaiah
Price.
Thomas, if you want to call him point guard. Tim Hardaway. You know, so there was a lot of guys before Steph that shot great off the dribble. And even now, Kyrie, I think Kyrie can match Steph, you know, off the dribble shooting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what makes Steph different? It's effortless. And I personally believe he has more range than any of the shooters that we've seen before him. Yeah, man. So because of those two things is the reason why I'm like Steph is the best.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna add range, but you touched on that. But the one other thing is the variety of threes that he shoots, because he don't shoot them all the same way.
No.
So he can get off a lot of different shots, you know, from anywhere on the court. So you know, I think that adds to his him going down as the greatest shooter of all time.
What's your favorite Steph Curry 3? I know mine.
Ooh, favorite Steph Curry 3?
Mm-hmm.
What's yours? I don't even think I have one.
OKC.
I don't think I got one.
Okay,
either.
OKC.
When he had the half court joint.
Yeah, one dribble pass.
Because
I was watching that game live. And when I saw Steve Kerr not take a timeout, I said, "Oh, they about to win this game." And they got the ball into Steph, and Roberson was playing him, and he played him good. Like, I'm talking about, you know, the man is way behind the hash mark. And when Steph pulled up, he put a hand up. Like, you don't expect for somebody to shoot that far a regular jump shot. Yeah. He shot a regular form 3 and knocked it down. When I saw that, I said, that is by far my favorite Steph Curry 3. Damn. Because you're talking about clutch. Mm-hmm. You're talking about in the moment.
That was to win the game, right?
Yeah, to win the game. You're talking about range. We're talking about all of the things that make a great shooter great shooter.
Oh, my
he
God.
He displayed it right there.
Dude.
Again?
What the? This dude almost just broke from half court. They got to show that again. He almost lost the ball and almost had a backcourt violation. He got the ball, took like about 3 steps, pulled it.
All right, so
again,
Pelicans may not. Pelicans
Everybody
may not
running.
win the game, man.
See, Ken, that play right there, right? Didn't go in there, nothing. People don't play KD like that. That's why Steph Curry is the most important player for that squad. Because he hit 2, everybody run. Oh my God.
They got to show that 3. Please show that.
Yeah.
But that was
he
just,
on now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be on.
Yes, right here. Watch. He just.
Oh, wow.
For the Oracle,
no rim.
What is Drew Holiday doing?
What do you mean? What he doing?
He played D. No, he wasn't. You saw how off he was? Does he not know who he guarded?
But Ken, look, man, that's unnatural. As a defender, that's so unnatural to guard a guy way back there like he could really make it. It don't matter who you.
No,
it don't matter that you're playing Steph.
It's unnatural, yes, but Steph is a different animal, dog.
He is, but it's the first game that they're playing against.
Everybody in this league know you cannot give him room. You got to crowd him, ball pressure, get in his face, make him dribble around you. So, nah, bro, nah. He can now, like what he's doing now. Yeah, make them do that. Make them screen for you, but nah, you can't.
Look at that. Look at that easy shot that Steph created just because he's a shooter.
KD,
he ain't Steph.
Bro, what are y'all Pelicans, man? They not gonna win the game, dog.
They getting swept.
They getting swept, man. They're gonna win this game because, and maybe they're just hype. Maybe it's first quarter. Maybe they'll settle down. I don't know, but I don't know, man.
Look, Ken. This game is prime. This game is prime for the Pelicans to get demoralized. Because I'm gonna tell you what was most likely was gonna happen. Pelicans are going to go a nice little run, separate themselves from Golden State a little bit. Golden State's going to call a timeout. They're going to storm back, take maybe a 3 to 5 point lead. Pelicans call a timeout. They come back. Golden State going to go on a 12-0 run. They're going to be down 20-something, and they're going to mail it in.
But if you're Gentry, though, aren't you telling your team to not get caught up in everything, the emotions of the game?
Of course. You tell them that. But outside of Rondo, who's been there, done that? You know what I'm saying?
Ian Clark.
Okay, fine, I'll give you that. But I'm just saying, how much impact does this guy have on his squad, right? If we're talking impact players, right, guys that can swing that pendulum either way in terms of a win or a loss, outside of Rondo, nobody knows where to pull that from. You know what I'm saying? If you think of AD and where he is mentally right now, obviously he knows he's one of the best in the world, and he should be thinking he is the best in the world. Right?
But he doesn't play like it sometimes.
Not all the time, but that's neither here nor there. Even AD, in the back of his mind, he know he got swept. In the back of his mind, all of those missteps against Golden State, when they come with a barrage of threes that demoralize the team.
Durant,
all of them.
Steph, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Knocking down everything.
Like what goes through your head? It can't be success. It's not like we came back down 3-1. We know how to.
We can't let AD off the hook.
No, we can't.
Nah.
We can't.
So you want to be the man, and we had a pod. We talked about it. Like, is this Anthony Davis time? It should be Anthony Davis time. So when he's going off like that, you got to come back down on the court and you got to get yours. You got to try to match it. Drew Holiday too. Like, everybody was saying that these guys got next or they got a shot, and they might not win a game because, like you said, and
dang, that'd be so embarrassing.
Would it though? Let's really think about that Blazers team. They had a lot of deficiencies.
No, I'm talking about, I mean, just for the Pelicans, would that just be embarrassing for them to get swept after, what you said? Everybody's saying, like, oh, man, these dudes might give Golden State a run, or this is Anthony Davis time.
Yes.
Like, that's embarrassing.
We asked the same question.
Yeah, if they get swept.
47 and whatever that he put up. But at the same time, like, they were feeling themselves too. They were talking about, oh, man, we don't need Boogie. We ain't gonna sign Boogie to the max. Bullshit. Y'all better sign that man because you could use him in a series like this.
Yes.
He has like Boogie and AD.
Yeah.
You got an advantage.
Yeah, you got an advantage.
You got an advantage. So, I don't know, man, but if I'm Anthony Davis, I'm looking at Anthony Davis, I'm like, I'm not letting you off the hook. You need to show up and you need to play and you need to perform. Ben Simmons playing with more moxie than Anthony Davis. Ben Simmons got attitude. Ben Simmons out there pushing people and jumping in people's face and yelling at the refs. Ben Simmons think he's a superstar. I love it, though. I love it, man. I did not see any of that. I know I jumped all over Ben Simmons. What he's doing in the NBA, the attitude.
Yeah.
I did not see that in college. He did not have that in college.
You know what, man? Because college was a waste of his time.
Yeah,
that's really what it was.
It was. If it wasn't a one and done rule, he'd be.
I'll start taking that into consideration when I start grading college players because the evidence is there.
But I've been telling you for years.
I know you did.
I've been telling you. There's certain players that the college game doesn't lend itself well to seeing what they truly are. Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons was a prime example. No, I can't shoot. And what? So. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA game, you could get away with that. In college, you can't. You could pack the paint.
In the regular season, you can get away with it. In the playoffs, I don't know.
I think I'll put it to you like this. If you have the mentality that Ben Simmons has, you give me the shot, that's fine. I'm still getting to the rack. Doesn't matter, Ken. But a lot of players that don't have a shot, guess what they do? They try to shoot. Look at what
Ben Simmons don't try to shoot.
He don't try to shoot.
No, he don't try.
I'm going straight to the rack.
I'm going to the
rack. You
rack.
gonna give me space? Cool. And you giving me a head start to get to the rack. So when you look at that series, right? Mm-hmm. Justice Winslow had one good shooting game. And what did they do? Go ahead and beat us from there again. And what did he do? He damn near shot Miami out of the series. Damn near. I'm not only putting it on Justice Winslow, but what did Philly do? You saw it. Let that man shoot. Hey, whoever's guarding him, get in the paint, get the rebound.
Right.
If he hit 4, that's cool. Get down here in the paint, get this rebound. So there's certain players, there's a lot of players in the NBA that can't shoot, but you can expose those guys. Look at Giannis. Giannis can't shoot. Have you exposed him really? No.
He really needs to work on his J.
He does, but you can still be effective is the point. And like you can't take me out of a game just because I can't shoot when you're great and you have that mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Well, 36-34, Pelicans up.
No.
Hey, he check.
No.
I can't think of anything else. I didn't really get a chance to even put a show together. I figured we would just
hey, we got the studio. Might as well just go ahead and just
and talk.
That's cool.
Just had a busy day, so
that's cool.
I ain't got anything else unless y'all got something. The draft. The draft. We didn't even talk about.
No, we haven't.
The draft since it happened. Like, were you guys surprised by what happened?
Brown's pick?
Yeah. Like, come on.
Why did Brown...
We talked about it before the draft.
Yeah. Why did they pick Baker Mayfield as not... You could have picked my man, the running back, and then you could have still got Baker Mayfield at 4. Like, I mean, if you...
More than likely, yeah.
If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to play it that way, but Baker Mayfield at number 1?
Look, man, you could have traded down that number 1 pick, got maybe like a top 10 pick, still had number 4, still taking Baker Mayfield with the number 4 pick, right? And still gotten another guy at 10, have future this is the reason why Cleveland is bad. And I'm not trying to say that Baker's going to be a bad player.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. I like Baker Mayfield.
I do too.
I like the moxie. I like the accuracy. Because I believe in the NFL, you need more accuracy than arm strength.
And from what I heard, he's the top-rated down-the-field thrower. Yeah.
Right, and then you got Josh Gordon. You got so exactly. Yeah. So again, I'm not saying that Baker was the wrong pick. I'm just not feeling where you picked him.
Right.
Because you could have traded down and still got your guy. Because nobody had him that high. So you could have took anybody and you took him. Because like B said, you could have took Saquon Barkley. Number 1, and you still would have got Baker Mayfield number 4. I don't get it.
I don't know. I was just so caught up by the pick that I just been reading and trying to research, and they became caught up in his ability to lead a team, and we know that's important. Plus all of his other talents. I think the only thing he lacks is size, right? So I think that was one of the things that attracted them to him. But I think for me, like, if you pick Sam Darnold and he turns into a bust, nobody's going to fault you for it. But they'll fault you for Baker Mayfield. Now, Cleveland has a new organization, a new leadership
regime.
You know, McLaughlin and Dorsey. So it's not the same guys making the same Sacha Brown making the same bad decisions.
Yes, it is. Just different names. Same position, different name, Ken.
But I think they have, from what I've read, they have a history of being able to evaluate talent. So I think that's where they differ from everyone else.
And I give you that. And at the same time, nobody is questioning the talent that he possesses. We're just questioning where, right? Like, does it make sense to you? And obviously, we don't get paid. We're not employed by the Cleveland Browns. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, man.
I'll tell you what, because this card that's about to get filled up. I'll tell you what. I'll put it to you like this. You guys know I've been critical of Sam Darnold anyway. I'd like Baker Mayfield a little bit more because of the leadership and his ability to make throws and scramble a little bit, whatever. I think even me, I got caught up in the mocks and everybody saying that Sam Darnold's number 1. And even the size. I even got caught up in that,
It's
too.
the whole nother USC hype machine, man. I mean, how many good USC quarterbacks came into the league and do something?
Carson Palmer's the only one.
Yeah, Carson Palmer's the only one. But I don't know.
I mean, but just think how many USC quarterbacks been hyped, though. So I'm like you. I don't buy into the Sam Darnold. It's like, another USC quarterback that's being hyped.
But I think if I'm looking at this, it's like, but why would you at some point you got to try to turn around the culture and the perception that other teams have of you and just us in general. But do you do that being safe or do you do that taking a risk and trying to really?
It's always about a risk.
Turn this thing around.
But I just
yeah, to your point, just draft. It's where. It's not why. It's where.
Because and the only reason why I question it is because I feel that you could have got more and still got your guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the fact that they picked Baker Mayfield, and even though I have an issue with them taking him number 1, I just feel that they could have got more and got Baker. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like maximize your squad to its fullest potential, and you could have still got your quarterback. That's the only reason why I feel how I feel. Not saying that Baker is going to be a bust. Not saying that Baker can't turn around the franchise. Not saying that Baker isn't the right guy for the job. I just think that you could have got Baker and maybe 2 other guys this draft, or maybe 1 additional guy this draft, plus several guys down the road that's going to help Baker become even a better player, because they just lost their Hall of Fame left tackle. What's his name? Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how you going to replace him? You know what I'm saying? So you may not replace him this draft, but if you would have traded down and got maybe 1 or 2 additional first, you could have addressed it next year. You know, so that's just why I feel how I feel.
Yeah, and then the reason why I text you guys, I'm like, the Browns are idiots or whatever, is because then you pass on Chubb, which everybody said was the next best thing, and you went with Denzel Ward. Now I heard a lot.
Shout out to Hillgrove.
I heard a lot of good things about Ward now, and they say he was moved up the draft quick, and the Browns said they have him graded equally. And that's why they picked him. They went with a need there, and I can see that. But I don't know, man.
You know what, Ken? I think that when you get into these positions, you have to have philosophies. You know what I'm saying? You have to have reasons why you do certain things, right? And for me, regardless if I was a GM of an NFL team or an NBA team, if I'm picking in the first 10, I'm picking the best regardless.
Yep.
Outside of, let's say, if I already had an established quarterback, I'm not going to pick another quarterback. You know, that just is what it is. But outside of a quarterback, I'm picking the best player because I'll figure it out. And like how we were talking, B, as a coach, don't you want to have the issue of I have too much?
Right. Yeah.
I'd rather have way too much.
Yeah.
I'd rather, because look at Denver. Do they not have enough pass rushing?
Yeah.
And what did they do? Go get another one. Because now in the NFL, it's all about having a quarterback that can get you at least to the playoffs and having pass rushing. Like this NFL, because it's so pass heavy, how do you nullify the quarterback? You got to get to the quarterback.
Top-notch pass rushing.
Exactly. And you got to have 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some guys that just come in just to go get the quarterback.
Yep.
You don't do nothing else, son. When I put you in the game,
You blitzing, you going after that QB.
You see the man with the ball, hit him.
Yep.
You Bobby Boucher his ass. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to some of these defenders like they Bobby Boucher, bro. Hey, you see the man with the ball, hit him. That's it. Don't worry about no scheme. Don't worry about what the safety do. You hit the man with the ball.
Yep.
And that's what the Broncos do. And then look at who the Broncos GM is. He's smart. Elway know the game.
Yeah, he does.
Elway know the game. And all he did is he is just acquiring talent. When you draft in the top 10 of any sport, you are bad. You're not good. Now, you may have had a bad season, right? Like when San Antonio was able to draft Tim Duncan because David Robinson was out.
Yeah, he broke his foot.
Yep.
It is what it is. Sometimes things happen that way. I get it. But at the end of the day, when you drop in top 10, you get the best guy and you figure it out. You figure that out.
Yeah, well, I do like where Josh Rosen went. I love his attitude. 9 mistakes made ahead of me. I think if he channeled that.
Where'd he go again?
10.
No. What team?
Arizona. He went to Arizona.
Went to Arizona.
David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald.
Got some things.
Man, they're going to a great organization.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce
Arians still there?
Nah, he retired.
No, he retired.
So that's going to be the question mark because Bruce Arians isn't there. So I like where he went. Todd Bowles is on watch.
Oh, yeah.
He's on watch, especially if Sam Darnold plays. If Sam Darnold doesn't play, I think he's going to buy himself. He's not going to get another year. They'll get him out of there and bring in a coach like they did in Tampa with Lovie Smith. So they'll probably do that. But I think, it's Jets or the Jets. So will they end up being the Jets again with Sam Darnold? You never know.
Right.
Who else? I love where Lamar Jackson went.
Where'd he go?
To the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Oh, yeah,
The Ravens.
Yeah. I remember that.
So Flacco on watch. He'll
Yep.
probably get that last year in guaranteed money. Then he's probably gone.
You saw what Lamar Jackson said? Like
the Super Bowl?
They're going to get a Super Bowl in me or whatever.
I love it, man. I love the attitude. Nick Chubb, I think he went to the Browns. And I think Sony Michel went to the Patriots out of Georgia. So I thought those were good pickups. What else stood out?
Low key, man, on paper, the Browns look nice.
On paper. On paper, yeah.
I think they filled voids with talented people. You know what I'm saying?
Landry, Josh Gordon,
Baker, Chubb.
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
On paper, I think they're making the right moves.
Yeah, it's going to be up
Can
to
they execute it?
Yep.
Hugh Jackson. If we believe in Hugh Jackson as a coach, and we're pro brother on here, and I'm going to be rooting for that guy, then it's up to you now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You got the pieces that you got now.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the thing. I think sometimes we need to be evaluating progression versus the result, right?
What do you mean?
So sometimes I feel that it just depends.
He just went 0-16.
Exactly. So sometimes it depends on where you are. Okay. You know, the progression versus the result. Now, they can't be 2-14. They can't be 4-12. You gotta be 7-9 minimum.
Off 0-16 season?
Off 0-16. You know why? Because
I would give him like the 5 through 7. 5-11.
You know, I guess my standard is a little bit higher, so that's why I said 7.
Yeah, 5-11, 6-10.
You got to be around there.
From an 0-16 season.
But you got to compete in the other losses.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. You got to have some heartbreak in there. You got to.
If you lose by a field goal in the last second.
Exactly. You yanked the field goal yourself and you lost because you. That's the type of season, to me, that is a success for the Browns this year.
Yeah.
You can't put playoff expectations. You can't do that.
Right.
But you have to be considerably better than what you were last year. Right. And I think that's how Hugh Jackson saves his job.
Especially if it's all with Tyrod Taylor, because then you're saying you're basically doing what the Chiefs did. All right, Pat Mahomes, you sat 4 years, your job next. Get Alex Smith out of here.
You know what, though?
Baker is your job. Get Tyrod Taylor out of here.
I'm going to tell you like this, and this is just me. Love Tyrod Taylor, but I think you got to start Baker from day one.
I'm with you. But I'm pro brother. I want to at least give the brother a shot.
Give him like 3 weeks.
Because that's what they brought him there for. Yeah. But
give him like 3 weeks, huh?
But would you say it's an open quarterback competition? So if Baker outplays him, you playing Baker.
That's fair.
No,
that's
I would.
fair.
Russell Wilson, yeah. Russell Wilson.
To me,
that's fair.
To me,
that's fair.
Yep. If I'm the Browns brass,
that's fair.
Look, is why I'm telling Tyrod up front. Hey, look, we brought you in here because you are a veteran and obviously you can ball.
Right.
We know that.
But
it's open.
It's open season on your ass.
And if this guy outplays
no pun intended.
we gonna play him. If he outplays you in training camp, if he outplays you during the summer months going into the season, we're gonna play him.
And that's what Todd Bowles said. He's like, Sam Darnold's third on the chart, but when training camp kicked off, hey, it's a competition. Everybody's competing for that spot. So, and that's what he's gonna let his team know. So. No, I feel you. I wasn't excited about Wentz or Goff or any of these other guys or Trubisky. I didn't care about them. They were not exciting to me. Something about this class has my attention.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a different class.
And I just would love, and I'm curious to see how they just go about their career. Who's going to be a bust? Who isn't?
Right.
So I'm all in. I'm all in on the Browns. I know I got to wait for Lamar some, but the Browns, the Jets, and Arizona. I'm all in. I want to see what these guys do. So, yeah. So, we'll see. So, man, wow.
The car full?
13 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got caught up watching the game.
Yeah.
Live reactions to us reacting to what you saw, man. Not on Twitter, but you heard our voices, heard Toronto blow game 1.
Choke artist.
Blow it.
Blow it, man. That's incredible. So.
Yeah, I gotta call my boy.
Yeah,
he live in Toronto. We gotta talk. Yep.
Yeah,
we gotta talk.
So anyway, we'll catch you guys next time. This is Dead End Sports, recorded at Dead End Studios.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, that's all good, don't it?
In Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.